Welcome to In the Zone, your mental strength and endurance sports podcast, presented by Thierry from Sports. So today we have a special episode because it's all about Ironman Austria that I've recently completed on Sunday, the last weekend. I went there with Dani. It's an athlete I coach since a very long time. I drove from Geneva to Klagenfurt. I picked Dani up in Salzburg and we spent the 4 days there together preparing for the race. And you're going to go and see all that we went through. So the check-in, a bit of training, just a wonderful scenery that Klagenfurt has to offer. I have a little bit of footage on race day, obviously not a lot because I'm racing, so I can't take the video with me, but there's a little bit of Dani at the end. We have a long section before the race, the day before, where we explain a little bit what our goals are, what the plans are. And of course, we have the post-race interview or podcast, longer version where we go through what happened, what actually happened. Did our plans match what we expected or not? Little bit of a spoiler, but it was a really, really tough day. It was a hot day. The temperatures were not so high, but the temperature went from low 20s to 30 degrees very, very quickly. So we didn't really have much time to adapt, but we both finished the race. We both had a great time. So not waiting anymore. Here is the podcast, and thank you very much for your support. So I'm on my way now on the motorway. I've got almost 7.5 hour drive to go to Salzburg airport, where I will pick up Dani, my friend and one of the guys I coach, and then we will drive to Klagenfurt, where we will both participate in the Ironman. I look forward to it. See you in a bit. So I've just entered Austria, driving through the wonderful city of Dornbirn. I must say it's not the most exciting place in the world, but here we are in Austria, then going to Germany on the fast motorways, and then back into Austria. See you later. We made it. We arrived. We had a good pizza, good lasagna.
Lasagna, homemade.
And we're ready to sleep now, but not in the same bed.
Apparently.
Then join us and register for the Ironman 70.3 Zell am See Cabron on the 3rd of September 2023.
Ironman Cabron.
Dani, so
Yeah.
what's your number?
1201.
And I'm 1202. Okay, so looking forward to it.
Yes.
Just done
yes.
registration. It's pretty cool. You can look at the. Yeah, it's as Ironman do things, it's always quite big. So
I'm gonna keep you close to me all the race.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully. All right. So just a little run for me. Dani is sleeping, having a nap. So I'm just gonna go for a little run by the sea. Oh, by the lake, sorry. Yeah, that's it. Nice and easy jog. Tell us about your new wetsuit.
Look, so brand new. Let's hope it fits. That's the most important.
What did you buy? Which one? Which brand?
It's Orca.
Orca. Oh yeah, I've got the same one.
The peculiarity of this one is that you have the sleeves this color.
Nice.
So actually, it's they can see you.
Yeah, pretty
Okay?
good.
In case you're drowning, which is not the intention. No?
And look at this absolutely beautiful view. It's insane. Absolutely stunning. All right, 1,000-meter done in the beautiful lake. Absolutely stunning, just loving. Water's 21.5. It's absolutely perfect for swimming. Woo, yeah, just don't know what to say. It's just stunning here. Look at this. Well, stop looking at my. No words to describe. Just beautiful. Time to eat now. See you later. Dani, how was the swim?
It was awesome. I'm a bit dizzy because of the neoprene, but that's normal.
What about the neoprene for the first time? Was it good?
Really good, really good. I really love the feel, the material of the fabric of the sleeves.
Yeah.
It's very different to the neoprene, so you can really do. It's much more natural. Yeah.
Are you hungry now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Time to eat. Okay.
Pizza. Time for pizza.
Yeah. Dani. Cheers.
Here. Right.
Alright, so
You started already?
I have, yeah. Okay, that's fine. So it's just a thing. Alright, so here we are at the hotel, the day before the race, famous Saturday. So how do you feel, Dani?
Yeah, I feel relaxed, feel ready, feel yeah, that we've done what we had to. So long workouts.
So today was the bike check-in. There's always many sort of packing, planning, all that, but you've done it many times now, so you're used to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So after this is gonna be the 4th Ironman, well, the 5th attempt.
Yeah.
Hopefully the 4th one.
Yeah.
So yeah, complete Ironman.
Yeah, I've also done this now many times. I think it's going to be number 7, and yeah, you get to a point where it's a bit autopilot when you pack your bags. You go to the check-in. You know, you have the blue bag, the red bag, and all the stuff. But your bike and transition, everything's a bit on autopilot. But
number 7 only. I would have
yeah,
said
number
that
7.
You did more.
Yeah,
Okay.
number 7. Yeah, number 7. But number 4 in the last 3.5 years. So I'm picking up.
Okay. When
Yeah.
did you start doing Ironman?
My first Ironman was in 2011 in Nice. That was a long time ago now. Yeah, and I guess I was hooked ever since. Afterwards, I did Mallorca in 2014. I did Challenge Roth in 2017. Then 2019 December, I did Argentina. That was great. Then we were signed up for Hamburg in 2020, but of course the pandemic hit, and that was postponed. I did actually Austria in 2021.
Yeah.
And then we did Hamburg in 2022, and here we are, basically. So I think that's about 7, if I counted right.
Long journey.
Yeah.
So 12 years, 7 Ironman. So what is the thing that still excites you?
I think the distance and the emotions that you get at the end. I think for me, it's not fast. You don't swim fast. You don't ride fast. You don't run fast, but it completely exhausts you at the end of the day. And when it's an exhaustion that you don't have in any other sports, I think, or any other event that I've done, and the emotions you have at the end are something else. You think of everything, your family, your whatever, yourself. It's I don't know. I get very emotional always at the end, and I'm always looking for that moment.
So if you take all the race, right? So the 10 hours or around 10 hours that you will do, let's ignore what happens before and after the race. No, that's probably more known by everybody.
Yeah.
So what are the lows of that race, and then you can tell me the highs. So what are your lowest moments, and why, and how do you go through that?
Yeah, so if you ignore pre-race, normally it's just a pre-race, which I don't like, but probably the moment I don't enjoy the swim is probably the one I don't really I like swimming, but I just find it's quite long and boring when you do almost 4 kilometers in open water. I just find it a little bit. It's an hour 10 or whatever. I just don't enjoy it as much. But then I do enjoy going out of the water. That's my first enjoyable moment. I love going on the bike, and I love biking. But I must say that my favorite moment in a triathlon is when you put the bike down and you go to the changing room, you change. Put your run shoes on and you start running. That's for me is the best moment, and of course the finish line, but my favorite moment is really when you start running, because it's only about running, it's only about yourself. There's nothing else, no other outside factors like technical issues on the bike, or maybe swimming with goggles. You know what I mean? It's running, it's just you, your shoes, and go.
But it's funny, no? Because it's also the most scary moment at the same time. Because I mean, typically when you're trying to view all the race, so before you say, how in the earth I'm gonna do a marathon after 3.8 swim plus 180 bike? Yeah,
I know, but somehow it's
and then it's coming, right? You're on the bicycle. You're maybe 10 kilometers before, and you say,
yeah, but I think you're looking forward to doing a different sport. I think because the swim is long, you look forward to going on the bike. Because the bike is long as well, you look forward to going on the run and doing something different. And when you're on the run, you look forward to partying at the end. You look forward to the beer, the food, and everything. So that's pretty cool. But so for tomorrow, what are your expectations? Do you tell us a bit about how did your training go? What about your expectations for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think the season I would split it in 2 parts. So if we take the whole season, like from October, that would give us maybe 7 months training, something like this, 7, 8. I would say I would break it in 2. So the first half, I don't think it went great. So I had better startings of seasons other years, but the second half I pushed a bit the gas more. The important sessions, of course, after you've done 7 or you're gonna do 7, I'm gonna do my 4th actually, fifth. So fourth attempt to finish, 5th participations. So then what are the key sessions, no? Those long ride outs in the bike of above 4 hours.
Yeah.
Those are absolutely key. The runs of more than 23K.
Yeah.
Those are really key as well. And especially accumulating them, no? Doing them Saturday, Sunday, or during the same week. So then you've been close to the pain you will feel in the race.
Yeah.
And that gives you kind of confidence, no? So that second part I did it more or less okay. So I think I'm gonna do it. So it would need to be really a bad day not to do it. But it's Ironman. It's a very long day.
The challenging thing for you, I guess, is that it's gonna be a bit hilly tomorrow. We've done part of the course. We've seen some hills, and you live in Amsterdam, which is just pancake flat. So that's a difficult challenge for you. You're not able to train the hills. But you have experience in cycling in Spain. You did the Trans-Pyrenees ride. So this should not really be an issue for you, but it's something to consider.
Yeah, absolutely. You said completely right. So mentally, I'm not scared at all. I've climbed a lot in my life. I love climbing, despite I'm not a good climber because I'm very heavy. I'm 184 and 2 kilos. But I've done it a lot, so I'm not scared. But I need to dosify the legs and keep for the marathon. That's the key for sure.
Yeah. And do you have a bit of a strategy in terms of for the run at the end? Because in Hamburg, I think you maybe allowed yourself to kind of walk a bit or kind of run a little bit slower. Did you have any now strategies so that you can? What's your strategy for the run, basically?
Yeah, so basically now, before we've discussed a little bit on how you break the different segments, the 3 disciplines, and that's something I always did, but in a very not planned way.
Yeah.
But you said, I'm planning it on my watch, so I have an auto lap, so it's actually telling me, for example, on the run, you're going to do like 10 times 4 kilometers.
Yeah.
No? So I'm going to try that tactic as well, because then mentally, you are not at the kilometer 15 to 19, which is typically my toughest moment.
Yeah.
Because you left too much to already feel relaxed, and you've done not enough to start walking, right? So it's kind of where you're gonna.
Yeah, you take by lapping, you take these 4K or 5K, whatever the distance could be. You break it down, and all you have to do is think 4K at a time. That's it. I can do 4K. I can do it. And that's it. That's all you're required to do for the next thing is 4K. That's it. I think that's a good strategy. I've been doing that, and it really helps because you can as well check for time when you as well go through aid stations. Typically, it's going to be a little bit slower. So if you have only your auto lap on 1K, then you can see, oh no, my lap was really bad. But but you walked for 30 seconds. But if you have it on 4K, those 30 seconds are, it's diluted in the average pace, so it's not as bad, and you can really have a good average, a realistic average pace for your total time, rather than 1K at a time, which is going to be up and down, and that also plays with your emotions.
Absolutely, and I think this is one of the most important parts of our sport that is not only physical, is probably much more mental than physical.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And no, absolutely. I mean, Ironman, that's what I said, it's mental. And that's why I also love it, the emotions. Because it's, in the end, people say, I could never do an Ironman. I couldn't do it. I actually honestly believe that, I mean, obviously, if you have a serious injury or serious health conditions, no, you should not do an Ironman. I seriously believe anybody can do an Ironman. With good training, anybody can do it. They allow 17 hours. I really think that in 17 hours, anybody who trains seriously for 6 months to a year can do an Ironman. It's not about I can't do it. Everybody can do it. No. But do you have the mindset? Do you have the mental strength to do it? Can you deal with your emotions? And this is what I love about Ironman. Is this you got the monkey on that shoulder just telling you, stop, don't do it, or walk a bit more or whatever, and you have to just manage that, and it's very difficult, but I love it.
And precisely there, so because we're mentioning tricks that are more kind of tactical, so you can plan them ahead, they're more technical, let's say, but don't you have kind of more psychological tricks that that's gonna give you a kick in the right moment where you are really low?
Yeah,
sort of mystical moments, right, that you say, think about this, think about that, and that will give you emotional strength, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's this is really personal, I guess.
Exactly.
And you know, for example, I do a lot of meditation and visualization. So, for example, today or tomorrow, before you know, before the race, I will sit down, meditate for about 5 minutes, visualize the course, try to as well visualize and feel how I'm gonna feel. Try to feel how I'm going to feel later on in the run, so that when I get there, I already anticipate this moment. It's not a surprise that you feel bad. You know, counting steps, counting even on the swim. Sometimes I just count my strokes to 20, and then I say, okay, I count to 10, then to 20, then to 30. You know, and that just passes time. You know, on the bike, I go. Really, I like this bike course because you can say it's just a one climb. We've got the volunteers from the bike race thing at our hotel. That's why it's a bit noisy, but they're here for our safety tomorrow. So
we definitely need them. So
yeah,
we do appreciate
no,
them.
on the bike, I like to break it down basically by segments. Just saying that's the flat race, so that's the flat part. Then it goes up, goes down. You know, you break it down more. And on the run, honestly, my thing is just to go 4K at a time. The mental aspect, yeah, I do. I think sometimes I like to. It sounds silly, but I sing songs that my children love. You know, like, so it could be kids songs, or I sing a song that I like, and that kind of passes a little bit the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just look at other people as well. You smile, you say hello, or if someone is struggling, you encourage them, and somehow by encouraging others and especially encouraging the ones who don't feel great, that gives you a boost as well, because you actually, hey, look, I'm actually feeling pretty good. And it's just about visualizing as well that finish line, and I can do this, and just keep going. But it's tough, there's
it's painful,
there's
tough and long.
Sports psychologists would have hundreds of techniques, I guess, how to do it, but it's highly personal.
If we could empty all the thoughts that you have, especially the second half of the marathon.
Yeah. But a big factor that tomorrow is going to play actually is the weather. So it's actually going to be quite hot, and that's something I haven't raced a hot Ironman like this for a long time actually. So that's that's going to be a bit the big factor for tomorrow. The day forecast is about 28 degrees. Today was even 29. There's a bit of a breeze, but yeah, it's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot because we're going to be half of the running course under the sun, no?
Yeah, the hottest part of the day.
And whether you're Spanish or Swiss or you have a cup or not or whatever, we're going to be hot for sure.
Yeah, so my top tip for that is that when you're on the bike, grab a bottle of water, completely spray the water on top of you, your bib, your just the shorts, whatever.
Create humidity,
your head,
right?
Everything to just keep wet, so that with the bike, with the speed, you will basically cool down. But the same thing applies on the run. Just they give you cups of water, drink a cup, and then just pour one on your head, on your torso. It's all about keeping body temperature as low as possible from as early as possible, because the moment you overheat, that's when troubles arrive. And so keeping it cool, drinking well, eating well, that's going to be a major thing. But no, I look forward to it tomorrow. Really excited. So the plan for tonight, we go for, what are you going to go for?
Yeah,
pizza?
For me, it's very clear. The pizza that you had first night,
that was pretty good.
I had a lasagna, you had a pizza, and I need to try that pizza.
Yeah, that pizza was pretty good. And there's a mini golf next to it, so hopefully we might have time for a game. All right.
Absolutely.
You know mini golf? You played before?
I completely suck. If I suck at Ironman, at mini golf is even worse, probably.
Okay. All right, we'll see you on the golf course then.
See you.
Cheers. Taps it in for 3. First bogey of the round. that going to be a hole-in-one? And it's his first hole-in-one. Well done. Dani Villa is currently 6 over par.
Okay, we're gonna see the massive failure. Ooh, not too bad.
A massive good morning and a huge welcome to all the families, all the friends and all the fans, our China Club members, and a massive good morning to the people in support of this race.
Good, really good. Yeah. It's gonna be a long day, long fun day.
Great. Yeah. All right, yeah, so look at that. The day today is now. Alright, so just a quick update. I finished the race. It was really hot. First impressions, I wanted to shoot this video actually just after finishing, but I had to take a shower, so I'm a bit I had time to rest and look a little bit better than I was when I finished. But swim went really well. Bike was really hard, but I did really well. But the run was just, it was extremely hot, and I exploded basically, and just couldn't keep up with my planned pace. But it is what it is. I finished and I'm really happy to have done it. So we'll talk later. Bravo! Go, go, go! Bravo! Well done, bravo! Go on, Dani! Yay! Allez, 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 allez! Just over. That's it. Well done. Keep going. Really good. Well done. Allez, 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 allez!
Robert Kitt, you are an Ironman, Robert. Yeah, boy. Das muss die Eva sein, Eva Müller. You are an Ironman.
Well done, Dani! Allez, allez! Venga! That's it! Yeah, almost done. Well done! Go, Dani! Well done! Bravo!
Representing Germany, this should be Yannis Klaas. No, from Great Britain, that is Tim Humphrey. Good job, Tim. Hola, Jordi, muchas felicidades. Bravo, Jordi, you are an Ironman. Michael, you are an Ironman. Rework! Bravo, Claudio! You are an Ironman!
We have come so far. This is
Our dear Vincent Campbell and our champion Matthias Pedersen.
Yes!
Is that you, Thierry? Here he comes from the back. Thierry is a happy man, and so you should be. And the squats continue to go now.
Dani, cheers.
Cheers.
Well done. You are an Ironman.
We are Ironman.
We are Ironman.
Absolutely.
We've done it. So it was a hot day. Wow, that was. Yeah, you have a nice tan. Sunburnt a little bit. No, but overall you probably both didn't have the day that we wanted to have, but ultimately it's not always about performance and whatever, and progression is not always linear. You have ups and downs. Yesterday was maybe not the up, a little bit of a down, but we did it. It was really tough.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm extremely happy. So my mission or my goal was basically to be able to do it. I did it, and mission accomplished.
Yeah.
So fully happy, 120% happy.
Yeah, we had a great day. I mean, we said it the day before that it was going to be hot.
Yeah.
And it was really hot, and I've never seen so many people walk in the marathon.
True.
Honestly, it was a death march.
So early in the marathon, in so many types, not only the elderly ones, but a lot of young people in the half marathon already walking, myself included. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, but it was a long day for sure. It was fun. I don't know you, but I think so. No, we had fun.
So let's go a bit step by step. So the swim. I mean, we were there on time. The check-in, everything, that was fine. Everything went well. Just regular Ironman stuff, really. Logistics were good. They're on time. And the swim, so we kind of sneaked in under the sort of 1 hour-ish, at the end of the 1 hour, sub 1 hour group, because I told Dani, look, let's just go there, because we can either go in a 1 hour to 1 hour 10, but then there's loads of people, and then, you might as well go after the really fast guys.
Yeah.
And that was for me, that was a really good decision, because I
ended up doing 1 hour and a half.
Yeah, so you took it probably a bit too easy, but I had the best swim, my swim PB basically, so I was really happy. 1 hour and 3 minutes. I just loved the loop is really nice. The water temperature was perfect. And the final kilometer in the canal is so much fun. You see people cheering and everything. So
absolutely.
Was that your your favorite swim for an Ironman? Or?
Yeah, exactly. I would say the segment of swimming, it was probably one of the most beautiful. Of course, I mean, if you swim in the ocean, it's always very special as well.
Yeah.
But in kind of lake type of swimming, like not ocean, because that's probably my favorite. Yeah. For sure, no doubt. So. Yeah. The last kilometer, you had people walking next to you and cheering you up. No, you could literally touch the people from the swim.
Yeah. Even at the end, I swam. I tried to cut a little bit, and I was under these branches which are coming to next. So that was. Yeah. But no, it was great. The swim was long transition, very very long transition. Where you have to run probably 500 meters, I would say.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah.
So it's super long.
Yeah.
T1, okay, nothing normal. Quite a big transition. The area, but not so big. Mm-hmm. And the bike. I mean, it's the second time I do it. I told you there were sharp hills, long downhills.
The audience needs to know the truth. So you fooled me completely. So you said it was a rolling bike, and man, there were a few decent climbs. Though you're right, they are very short climbs. Yeah. So actually, I wouldn't consider this a hilly race.
It's not a mountain climb.
No.
I think the longest climb is something like 2 kilometers long.
Yeah.
So, okay, it comes at the worst time at the end, and it's the hardest one. So it's probably in your mind, it feels like you're doing the Mont Ventoux, but actually, actually it's just 2K at 9-10%. It is really tough, especially when you're on a time trial bike. You don't have the right position, maybe not even the right gearing.
Yeah.
So at the end, it is tough. But otherwise, there's lots of moments where you can, be in the TT position, and the bike. I mean, the scenery is beautiful, spectacular,
it's fantastic. I mean, when you have the really high mountains, which must be Slovenia or between Austria and Slovenia, that is amazing landscape,
Yeah.
right? You're there. You have a second to look around and see where you are, and that's really
Yeah. So we both had 179 kilometers on the bike, so that was accurate, the distance. I had 1,500 meter elevation. I think you had a bit about the same, I think, or some, maybe a bit more
I
even.
haven't checked the
No.
altitude, but
Yeah, it's 1,500 is quite some nice elevation.
yeah.
It's not compared to Hamburg we did last year, which maybe had
Yeah.
100 meter elevation. I don't even know.
It's the second most elevated. Let's say if we don't call it hilly, more with more elevation gain for
Yeah,
sure
it's
that
a
I've
good-
done in my life. Yeah.
No, so that was but yeah, I think it was hot. I mean, I sprayed myself with water so much. I mean, yeah, I was lucky that quite early on I found a couple of guys who were just really good, solid bikers, and I just followed them. And one guy I followed, I think, for 150 kilometers, and it was just.
Should we call it drafting or just, just
Okay,
keeping
okay, so it was maybe not
North Star.
always at the 12 meters, but let's say I was playing with fire,
yeah.
but I was not purely drafting. No,
Yeah.
it was maybe 10 to 12, let's
It's
call
a
it.
psychological reference. Let's
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah, it was far enough.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, there was a guy in front of me who got busted for drafting, but he was literally 2 meters behind or 3
Yeah,
meters,
yeah.
and that was obvious.
The physical advantage of being really close
Yeah.
to the bike, because I think that's important, no? That for doing proper drafting,
Yeah.
you need to be really close.
Well, no,
if you're
but
2
it's-
meters behind,
Oh, so if you're really
Right.
behind, you get the full advantage.
yeah.
But even at 10 meters, you get an advantage. You
Ah,
know?
really?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do. So it's
But
that's why.
physical one, I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
okay.
really get. I don't know in terms of percentage. I mean, there's probably data out there, but I know that some other races where they do 20 meters, and that's when you have almost no. But you can imagine that if the train or the line is really long,
Yeah.
if you have 2 guys,
Yeah.
it's okay. But if you have 10 guys,
Yeah.
that creates this whole kind of tunnel.
Yeah, it's
So,
the tunnel of wind that
yeah, exactly. So
all
it's
cyclists talk about always. Yeah.
So it was an advantage, and I must say that I really took advantage of that guy who he was. And whenever I was going at the front, whether it's after an aid station or something, he would just always go back in front.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Bomba, okay, you do all the work, and I stay behind." And yeah, so I got pulled along, which was great. But I think it's part of racing. You have to make decisions, and after the first long motorway area, there was there's the first 30 kilometers. You're on this motorway; it's quite long. And there we were in this group, and I wasn't quite sure if it was these guys or not. And then I realized, okay, these 2 guys are strong, and they seem to be working well together. And I said, you know what, I need to stick with them. So I made a point that every aid station we passed through, I had to stick with them, these guys. So when there was a hill, I know they were climbing hard, and the others were letting go a little bit. But I was like, no, I have to. I had a feeling that I had to stick with them, and it worked well, because in the end, the last 30K, I took it a bit easy, because I just thought, okay, I need to rest a little bit. So in the end, I end up with a 5 hours and 5 minutes, which is 5 minutes slower than I would have expected. But okay, it's a margin of error that we can tolerate, let's say.
Could you eat well during all the race of cycling? Because actually, it was pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
I don't know you, but for me, when it's so hot, it's also difficult to digest and to.
It is, yeah.
Your body's not asking you for food, right? So liquid, maybe yes.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, I was having.
How was for you?
Well, for me, I rely mostly on liquids, so it's much easier.
Right.
So I had
Gels, no? You
liquids and a 1 gel per hour.
okay?
Yeah, but mostly it's liquid. So I have 60 grams of carbs per bottle. So basically, I had 5 bottles, and then 1 gel, so 5 gels.
Okay.
That ends up basically 90 to 100 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
And that was fine. No issue there. I think there were plenty of aid stations all around.
Yeah, I think it was enough.
No, the bike is. I think it's a beautiful course. I don't think you would get bored of doing this loop again.
No, it's not boring. That's also very important. I mean, physically, you can argue whether it's tougher or not. Depends on your preparation and your conditions, but definitely psychologically, is not.
No,
it's good. It's a good race.
Yeah.
It's-
Actually, I like to break it down when you have this long flat, and then you have a hill. I was looking forward to the climbs. It's like, it's going to change a little bit.
You
Change the position and the downhill.
Stretch a bit the back because all the time being in aero position, it's also
No, and and then we go on to the run where I don't know. I started well, according to my plan, but it quickly faded. I must say, after 15 kilometers, I was starting to struggle a bit. And you know, when you have this feeling after 15k, it's not the same if you have it after 25.
Yeah.
I think if you have it after 25, you can sort of grind it out, you know, because you only have 15k to go. But if you have 25 kilometers to go, 27, it was. I was just blown away by the heat. You know.
What could be the temperature by then? So
30 degrees, maybe.
30 degrees.
29
right?
for sure.
Yeah,
30. I think 30.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to one guy, a French guy, actually after the race, and we were talking about our preparation, and we, you know, and the same for you, I guess, in Holland, in Switzerland, we only had this warm weather basically a week or two before the race.
Yeah.
And even that, it wasn't even that hot.
No.
So every time I trained, it was mostly in the sort of 15 to 20 degrees. 20 was actually not very often, actually. Mostly that, you know, starting in the morning at 10, 12 degrees, coming back in the middle of the day at 20, 21, and all of a sudden you're at 30 degrees.
And also important maybe to say that acclimatization, it's the so-called acclimatization for athletes, which in the end means spending enough days before of the race, so you're getting used to the climate conditions. But there's a physical part, right? So your cells are creating plasma, which, to put it very shortly, is kind of liquid, which basically prevents dehydration later on. And that you don't build by drinking the previous night.
No.
So
you need a few.
You need a few days. And actually, here the previous days were neither so hot.
No.
So we didn't really have a good acclimatization to 30 degrees.
No. It was when we arrived. What was it? 24. Something like that. 25 maybe. But
we needed a jumper.
But not 30 degrees. And actually, next week it will be 34 degrees. So I mean, in a way, we got lucky. But I cannot imagine racing in 34 degrees. But no, it was tough. It was tough. The run was tough. The course was, it's not the most exciting course. It's basically one out and back, kind of a figure of 8, but well, actually not even. It's just an out and back with 2 mini loops, and it's not very exciting. And
a bit lonely. Some
parts moments
without
a little bit lonely.
Audience and crowd there.
I mean, compared to Hamburg last year, where it was just in the city center with huge crowds. That must say I missed a bit, but that's that. You don't have there's not many races on the calendar that have
You're
these
in the center
crowds.
of a lively city as Hamburg, because Hamburg per se is a super lively city.
No, so I mean, I think just everybody was taken aback by the heat. It was just crazy.
As we said at the beginning, I don't remember. I mean, you have more experience than me, but I never remember seeing people very fit walking from very early in the marathon.
Even a few pros. You know, you saw a few pros. The times were. I mean, I don't know if it was the quality of the field in terms of the pros was not as good as usual. But normally this is a really fast course. And I think the winner took it out in 7:56. Okay, still sub 8. But now these days in the pro, man, sub 8 is you can't you have to do sub 8 to win. I mean, to be even considered, you know, now it's more 7:45, 7:40, 7:45, 7:50. And Austria, I think, is known for having a big, you know, some records and big, really good times. So to only go 7:56, I think is it showed that it was a tough day.
It shows it was a tough day indeed. But okay, I mean, so in the end, it's very special, not the marathon. So you go through highs and lows, and you think about everything that you can. I mean, for example, at least in my case, I mean, kilometer 26, as you said. So you in my case, I couldn't run anymore, so I started walking, and then you go through a different journey completely. You need to accept that you're not gonna do your best timing for sure, and then you change the tactic in the middle of the race, which is always very difficult.
Yeah,
because you're not thinking very straight, of course.
but like you said, you changed tactic.
Yeah.
And you did something else compared to when we last time we were on the podcast and you talked about your race in Vitoria, where actually you decided to stop the race. This time you changed tactic and you carried on, walked a bit, and started running again.
Yeah. So in terms of tactics, there were two very important moments in this race. So first was just right after the last climb, when I remembered about you and your family, and then it was the toughest point, and then I thought, okay, you know what? All the doubts, that might come to your mind. So, I mean, you're a very solid athlete, but for me, I'm more kind of a domestic athlete, let's say, or occasional triathlete. Then I started thinking of what am I doing? What do I really need to submit my body to such a high, massive pressure now? Running a marathon under 30 degrees, all these negative thoughts are coming through your mind. But then I said, you know what? Put your shoes of running on, start running 50 meters, then 100 meters, then 1 kilometer, and see how it goes. I did it, and from the 1 meter, I started feeling great, actually. And then it cheered me up, right? So then you go through another emotional, positive cycle, and probably the first 15 kilometers, you're still living from that positive feeling, no? What happens with these 15 kilometers? Of course, the heat is really tough, and the race, if you remember, by the kilometer 15, you're more moving towards more lonely parts of the race, I would say, no?
15, you'd be
towards.
You would be in Klagenfurt, in the city center.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
But you might be coming back towards and that's a bit of a lonely place as well.
Yeah.
Or you're out towards Klagenfurt, which is a bit lonely as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have more time to think, because when you have the crowd, right, cheering, and you're looking at people, you're entertained. That's very important, to be entertained, no, during the
absolutely
the race. So also even interacting with people.
Yeah, and so you said after 25k you met someone on course, and you started chatting with another Spanish guy.
Exactly. So, but that was actually deliberate tactic. So I saw, actually, I'm a big observer, no?
Yeah.
And I realized that that's a tactic that, for example, British, they do a lot. So they start kind of teaming up amongst each other. Also Italians, by the way.
Yeah, it's true.
Have you realized?
They don't only cheat, yeah.
It's not that they're
drafting a lot, huh? Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, we have to say that the rules in this Ironman were differently followed.
Yes.
Right? After the last events, not that somebody
exactly
unfortunately died in Hamburg, a motorbiker.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically I said, okay, I need a partner here. I need someone to entertain my mind.
That's such a great tactic.
Yeah. And then what did I do? I looked at the guy who completely looked Spanish. I looked at the bib, and it said Paco, the Spanish flag. And I said, Paco, let's start walking and running a little bit, right? And we went together.
What did you say? Do you want to go for a run? What?
It's sort of like this, like, come on, Paco, let's do it. Let's do it together. One foot at a time. I don't know, but I think there is a complicity. That's also nice.
I agree. No, but that's for me, again, following this German guy on the bike was such a motivator. I didn't have to think about my numbers. All I was thinking is that just stick
to this guy.
With this guy. That's it. That's my only job. Because if I look at my power, I look at the speed, he was perfect. So it's like, you know what? That's my only. It's like a rabbit. You know, the rabbit with the carrot. It's just whatever you would say in English, and I didn't have that on the run. If you have that, it's just brilliant.
But it's funny that you say that, because typically you're a lot into having a good plan, into the numbers, not the watts, this and that. But actually, you kind of follow your instinct there,
a lot,
and it worked out perfectly. Actually,
Yeah.
So that's also something important.
I think,
no?
I think you have to. I think you shouldn't be a slave to the power numbers or the metrics, whatever. You're still racing, and in a race, you have other competitors. If it was a pure time trial and nobody's allowed to race, to use others, then it's a different environment. There, you only look at watts, but here you got to like, okay, do I stick with those guys? Do I whatever? It's a race. There's other people involved, so you have to use.
Yeah.
And of course, if the guy was, a pro rider riding at 300 watts, and I'm behind at 250 watts, for sure I will not follow them. No, 100%. I cannot. That's that's irrealistic.
Yeah.
But he was literally going the speed that I wanted to go. So all I did was, stay legally behind him, the same way he would have done if I was just slightly better than him.
Yeah.
So I think finding someone on the run when you struggle, or not when you necessarily struggle, but if you find a good partner and you say, okay, let's team up and we do this together, that is a really good strategy.
Yeah.
But on the run, I wasn't so fortunate to find someone on the run. I saw, unfortunately, someone who we joked about it earlier, but someone who had an accident, who probably didn't have enough time to go to the toilet, and he was that was a motivation for me to run faster and overtake him, because it would smell so bad. The poor guy had literally gone to the toilet, but in his tri-suit. That was not nice. There was a lot of people being sick on the side. It was a bit of a
So people puking and keep on running. And
more than the usual, I would say. I don't remember seeing.
No,
I remember Hamburg. I don't see at all.
No. I've maybe the last ones I remember a bit like this were with extreme heat, like in Mallorca. I remember once as well, very hot. But even not that to the limit of that. Physiologically, people were exploiting, as you said, and the lesson is never wear white suits,
never
right?
wear
white clothes
suit.
on a triathlon. These
But
characteristics.
hey, so we got it. We got our nice medal. We are finishers of this Ironman.
Like the big Rafa Nadal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be for Federer.
You're heavily Spanish already after a while.
But so an extra bonus. I mean, for sure, for me, I didn't have the time I wanted. I probably left 30 minutes. So I had the swim, best swim ever, really good bike. And that probably also affected my run, let's be honest. But I really think it's the heat more than anything. I had planned to run between 3 hours 10 and 3 hours 20. And if it was catastrophic, 3 hours 30. And I did 3 hours 50. So it was more than catastrophic on the run. But, at some point I was in survival mode, and I just knew that I wouldn't have my best time. So I just said, okay, you know what, just damage control, finish this race. So I should have done a lot better. And to tell you the truth, before the race, maybe I didn't tell in the previous earlier on or last days, but I had two kind of goals for this race. Actually, I wanted to probably have a PB. I thought I could have it between 9:45 and 9:30. 9:30 would have been a dream day. 9:45, I thought it was achievable, but okay. And then the second goal was to qualify for.
That's a little flag there, right?
Yeah,
it's not that you suddenly became
was
friends,
to qualify for the World Championships, which are in Nice. So I think part of me, I didn't want to detonate completely, because I thought, you never know, if I can still be in it, then maybe the roll down will come to me. But if I completely detonate and finish last, then I won't get it. So I tried to limit the control, and so goal number one was not done. But today we went to the awards ceremony, and
so you're participating in the World Championship?
So yes, I qualified for Nice, the World Championships, this year in September. So I will go at it again in September. Okay, to be honest, the qualification was, anybody could have taken a slot today. They had a lot of slots.
But don't undermine.
I don't know, but okay,
so
it was much easier than it was for Kona. Let's be honest.
Well,
but you've got to be in it to win it. To win,
You earned
right?
it. You earned
So-
it. And
So I will
all
go,
yours.
and I realized that, you know, for me, I think I would still love to one day qualify for Hawaii, but it would take such a change of life. You know, I already consider myself a good athlete, training good hours already. So if I was to tell Connie, my wife, hey, in the next 2 years, I'm going to take this way more seriously, I'm not sure that would go down really well. But you have to make massive sacrifices, I think, if you want to qualify for Kona. But this, for me, qualifying for Nice, gives me just a great opportunity to experience the World Championships. I think it's going to be, for the pros, one of the best ones, because most people are going. We're going to see probably new faces that will shine, because not everybody can do well in Hawaii in the heat. I think in France it will be different. And you know, all the big brands will also be there, because the expo will be, I think, massive, because, you know, Kona is such a long way. It's expensive for brands to go, and I just think it's going to be a different vibe. And I think it's nice to say I'm part of that. And also for the little story, the little, it was maybe written in the stars, but I had done my first Ironman was in Nice 12 years ago. So I always wanted to go back and do it, and I qualify here in Austria, and my wife is from Austria. So, you know, if there was one race I could qualify for a world champ in the race where it all started, that's it. You know, and actually, Connie, my wife, when we first met, we met in April. And I told her, you know, just like this, hey, do you want to come with me for a weekend? I go to Nice for an Ironman. And she said, yeah, sure. We were not even going out together. And she said, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. So she has experienced the whole journey with me of my Ironman journey. So I think it will be a really nice kind of, I'm not saying it's the end of the loop or end of the Ironman journey, but it's a nice way of kind of going back there. And I think it's a nice story. So I really look forward to it. I was quite emotional getting up to the stage. It's a big ceremony. The procession, my gosh, it's long, huh?
It's long.
Because you have a lot of slots.
That speaker, big respect for that guy.
Yeah. Paul K, I think is
200 names.
Oh my God!
In all the languages.
Yeah. Oh, he does a great job, but it's long. It's long. I think it took us like 3 hours over.
But it worth. I like to leave it with you to see the emotion, and it's a side that I've never lived from Ironman.
No, you know, we talked about this earlier, and I told you, you know, when I look back, maybe when I retire or whenever that is, but in my years in triathlon, I can say, you know, I've represented my country. I went to the European champs, the World Championships, an ITU level, you know, the Olympic distance. And now I can say I'm going to the World Championships for Ironman. And I'm extremely proud about these achievements.
You should.
That's it shows that, you know what, anybody can do it. Because 12 years ago when I did my first one, I mean, before my first one, you know, I was playing really good. I was good at golf, elite sort of level, but, you know, no real endurance sport experience.
The other day I almost beat a
we didn't talk about this.
In our mini golf,
pre-Ironman session. A mini golf. I almost got. I was scared a little bit. I had a solid lead, and I completely choked at the end. Kind of the story of my race, actually. You know. But
big respect for you, man. I think you are an example. You're a fantastic coach, and I'm very proud to have a coach who is going to participate in a world championship. And I have to say that I came very excited. So knowing that this was going to be a very special Ironman with you, I'm leaving much more happy than I came. So I want to thank you for all the experience, truly from the heart.
Thank you.
And won't be the last one.
No, it gives me even the chills now. Thank you. I think what we've realized, I think the last 2 years as well, maybe this comes out a little bit from the pandemic, I don't know. But it's only now the second year we do the races together. Last year we went to Hamburg with Marc, who unfortunately couldn't be with us this weekend. He wanted to come, but he's not wasn't available. But there is something about sharing this moment with someone else. You know, going on your own to a race. Yeah, I've done it. You've done it, and it's just not the same thing. When you go to an event, you have people, you can share the moment. It's just, I just love it. So I just really hope. Yeah, we talked already a lot about, okay, when's the next one we can do? Well, I know when my next one is, but next year. And I really hope we can carry on with this tradition of racing. And it's just so much more fun when you do it with people.
Absolutely, absolutely. For me, I said to my parents, my family and my friends, because I explained you that I'm creating basically a group in WhatsApp where I put all the family and friends. Is one, more comfortable, otherwise you have like 50 people texting you. But second, this is probably my second favorite moment of Ironman. So one is obviously when you finish and cross the line, because you're in heaven. But the second moment is when I arrive to the hotel, everything is calm, you've done it, you feel kind of a peaceful moment, and then you start looking through the group, and you see all the comments that people that really care about you, what they were really, all the energy that they were trying to send you, right? And you were not able to look at those messages. But still they speak like as if you could hear it.
Or I have some friends or even the family who say, oh, we were following you on the tracker the whole day, and they get notification, and they just... and you realize that actually they were really following what you're doing, and it's so nice to hear.
You make a positive impact in other people, so they're living through you a little bit this thing that you're doing, no?
It's an amazing... I mean, Ironman it's a big brand, of course, but they do it really well. The organization was fantastic. We joked about it well when he showed us the video. You know, they put up this very emotional video of the summary of the day of the race. And of course, you know, they just make you want to sign up for the next one right away. You know, but it works. You know, we before the race we talked about maybe we do a half next year and whatever. But come on, you know, the emotions
they're
you get,
touching you.
But the emotions you get after a full, I couldn't do less, honestly, because it's just that's why we were saying, you know, why do I love Ironman or the Iron Distance? I don't care if it's the brand, but because for me, you go to places in your mind, in your physical ability, that you never would go elsewhere. Like there's no other place where you put yourself through this amount of, you know, you might call it pain or whatever, and some people don't understand it, but I don't look for pain. I just look for that moment where you've got, I don't know, you think you're depleted, and you somehow find the resources to finish something, and I find this incredible. You know, when you think you're done, actually you're not. You know, and you can carry on for much more than we think.
Yeah, and I think you bring that, at least myself, no, I bring that, exactly that point that you're mentioning, this capacity of overcoming obstacles that you think at that moment you're convinced you're not going to be able to go through. But then 5 seconds later, you see yourself running again. Right? So and that basically, I think you bring it to your life in a way, no?
Absolutely.
Right?
Any like they say, Ironman, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Anyway, Dani, it was a pleasure.
It was a great fun
to have you as a co-host for this podcast experience. And well, we'll see for next year what the plan is. But well done to your race.
Thank you.
And we'll catch up soon. I'll bring you to the airport tomorrow in any case. And we'll have probably another beer after that, if we can get into the hotel. I'm not sure. I think we were locked out.
Thank you, Thierry.
Thank you.
See you next year.
Bye-bye. Well, here it is. Thank you so much for having listened to this podcast and this episode. If you made it through, well done. It's probably felt probably as long as an Ironman to listen to this or to watch this. I hope you enjoyed it, and perhaps you enjoyed that sort of video format that I'm going to try and do a bit more often. There's just a few people I'd like to thank before I finish this, but first of all, of course, it's going to be my family that allows me to pursue my dreams and give me the time to go to these events. I'd like to thank my strength coach, Petri, who's just doing a wonderful job. He just prepared me massively, really well, not only for strength training, but also the massage and the physiotherapy. I'd like to thank Guillaume at Le Cercle, the bike shop, who prepped the bike really well. I had an absolute weapon, great time on the bike, fantastic bike. The cube was prepared really nicely. So thanks to Petri, to Guillaume at Le Cercle. And also thank you to Maike, who hosted with me the podcast, for all the tips and tricks on the mental strength, and definitely used some of those on the weekend. And just to thank you all the athletes I coach, the people who follow me, who supported me, sends me words of encouragement. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I couldn't do it without all this help. And like, again, surround yourself with great atmosphere, great people, and you'll do great in life. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.